here's our template that we're looking at. And first thing you want to do is go into the HSB slider. That way you can control your hue, saturation, and value here. Not literally quite, but good enough, right? It'll be fine. And the name of the game here is just trying to figure out how to make this happen, right? One color to look like it's two colors, and then two colors to look like one. And just a reminder, you can't use the colors that I use, but you can use the ideas that I use. So let's take a sort of what we maybe identify as a secondary color. So I don't know, green's usually, that's a pretty good secondary color, right? So I'm going to stick that right there. And now the first thing that I want to point out though is when you're looking at a really, really bright green like this, there's not much you can do to make the sliders over here go to the right, right? So what happens is you can't make this look any brighter than it already is. You can make it look duller, you can't make it look duller because to make it look duller, you would need to put brighter colors around it, and there's no brighter color than 100 and 100, right? So what I'm going to do is just put these, I don't know, somewhere around 50. And that color will go in here, like so. And you can already see these backgrounds, with the value of the backgrounds, it's already starting to happen. This one looks like a darker green. This one looks like a lighter green, right? Not enough, though. Okay, so that shifts. Actually, that doesn't shift anything. Let's just say that starts it. So I know that, like, green is kind of made up of yellow, and it's kind of made up of blue. So maybe what I want to do, how do we bring blue out of this? Well, we bring blue out by putting its complement. And blue on the additive scale, which is what I think we probably want to work with, is yellow. So I'm going to stick yellow back there. And yeah, I think that brings out the blue side of the green pretty nicely. This suddenly looks almost like yellow-green here. But that really, really super bright background, I don't know if that's the right way to do it yet, but I'm going to keep it that way. Because I want this green here maybe to be, blue, but also maybe dull. And then I'm going to go the opposite direction, the opposite complement of that. So what I'm trying to do is pull the green apart, basically. And I'm going to go with a nice dark green or blue like that. And you can see that starts to do it pretty nicely. Maybe you could lighten it up even more, right? And maybe over here I can, let's see what I'm going to do. What am I going to do with this one? I'm maybe going to lighten it up even more. How does that look? Does that help or hurt? Maybe like that. Okay, so now we've got a darker, sort of more bluish green, and we've got a lighter, right, more yellowish green. And it's because blue is the complement of yellow, and blue is going to bring out the yellow in something. And yellow is the complement of blue, and so that will bring out the blue. All right, so this is the easy one up here. Next is going to be the two colors as one. And basically where I want you guys to start, sort of the same idea. Start around the middle on one of them, and then you have to move 10 places on each of these sliders. So on the H slider, the closest we can do is 140. I'll round it up to 141. And then let's go, so 653, so let's go 63. And then we'll do that again here, 63. Okay, so that is the colors. You don't want them any closer than 10. The scales, when I do this in your critique, each of those sliders there has to move 10 or more. You don't want to go too far, just because when you go really far, it gets very difficult to do these. But okay, so I'm noticing that this one is a little more yellow, this one's a little more blue, so maybe if what are we going to do? Maybe put some blue behind this one to bring out the yellow. And then maybe this one here, what do we say, this one was more yellow? I don't know, let's just try yellow and see what happens. Something in the green-yellow range, yikes. Okay, so I like just starting off and seeing what we've got. So what happens here is the value on this one feels way, way too light. This one's really light, this one's really dark. So how do we lighten this one up? start doing this guy here, down like that. Okay, now they're getting pretty close. This one now is suddenly feeling a little bit too blue, so let's push this just a little bit towards blue. Don't want to change the value too much. Okay, so what I'm looking for is, that one's too light, so let's go back this way. I'm looking to stare right at this point in between the two colors, and then I want them to look the same. And right now they're close. They're not perfect. And I don't want you just to sit here and watch me go back and forth on them, but they're close. Value looks pretty similar. They look closer than up here. So you play with that. You move your slider. If this feels like it's a little bit too blue, well, if it's a little bit too blue at this point, maybe only thing we can do is try to add a little bit more blue there to get rid of that blue, because in theory if we add full blue, it's going to make it look pretty yellow, although that's not as far off as I thought it would be. So anyway, play with that. You keep pulling the opposite color to bring out, and similar colors to bring down qualities of your color. So anyway, again, when you're looking at the middle colors, sliders have to move 10 or more, and then you kind of work with that. So let's see what we can do.